forming his own league, or joining a black league or whatnot. Like I said, to me, it has to be a unified effort. If 4 guys picking up steam, and I say, you know what, I'm gonna start my own platform, right? Okay, go ahead, Eddie. What y'all do? Find another person. It's easy to find one person and harder for me to find 3, right? So my whole thing is do it as a unified front. You know what I mean? That's my whole point on it. If you can't get the majority individuals to go along with you, or especially the big name players, then hey, use the platform you have now to try elicit or affect change. And
so,
second
Eddie,
point.
would you? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Every do finish. Every do finish.
Okay. Second point is about the when you said you don't know who is in Silicon Valley, right? My thing is this: I don't know who are the most popular TV talk show hosts, but I know Oprah. So my point is, if there were more people in color, then maybe, I'm not saying it's a fact, maybe you would be more interested in it. That's a safe assumption, eh? We're not seeing our people in those fields.
Okay.
So you gravitated to where you see people who look like you. You gravitated towards sports, entertainment, because you're seeing more individuals who look like Rodney, who look like Jay, you see, and everyone else here. So you know,
representation.
Made everyone else just so no one look like Jerome.
That's what they trying to say.
Fella call everyone name.
not felon, other fellow.
So imagine.
Hey, he says he's easy to replace one person, eh?
He did say that.
Imagine now that young black male or female who is interested in tech, right?
Yeah.
Who's having these challenges. They don't see individuals who look like them, and so it's we have to not only understand, but I think we have to believe that, guess what, we're not seeing these individuals simply because maybe they are being shut out. Maybe something else is working to keep these people out. Now, access, like you touched on this point, but access, which is a great point. The book Outly has touched on how Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they had access to computers at a very young age, right? At a time when people didn't have access to personal computers. That wasn't a thing. So that was an advantage for them, right? So when you look at those 2 individuals, the fact that here are 2 individuals who had access to something that 90% of the world don't have access to. That doesn't include if you're color. You could be black or white. You didn't have access to the computer, so they had an advantage, whereas the majority of the world didn't. So Steve Jobs and Bill Gates had computers, whereas 2-to-1, the black kid in the ghetto or even in the suburbs didn't have the computer to work on it daily, day in and day out, 8 hours a day to build that 10 hours, that
10,000 hours.
10 to 10,000 hour rule. So yeah, that I could buy that point to a certain degree, but my whole thing is now 2020, why aren't we seeing more individuals and more black individuals in the tech field? You telling me it's because they don't have the access or they're not as qualified? I find that hard to believe. You know what I mean? I just think something else is working behind the scenes that's forcing us or forcing them not to get the shine they deserve or blocking them from achieving the success that they could get in those fields.
It's money, but and that's the access there. It's money, and the thing is, so to that, Gary, what it is like. We're doing it's a money opportunity. So if Mark Zuckerberg, when he created Facebook, he was in college already. So you're already in that environment. So in order for him even to create Facebook, he had to be able to get into college. Then they would see, even though they dropped out of college, they still had the opportunity to get into college. Now that was a clear line for them because of the opportunity that they made. And 2, a lot of these tech companies, Eddie, they have angel investors. What the angel
Right.
investor says, this fella is a who got billions of dollars to say, you know what,
Yeah.
Jay, you got this shark app. I believe in your shark app. Let me buy some. I give you
Yeah,
$1
they
million
just waiting
for
to
your shark app.
invest.
So
Yeah.
like, but to your
Yeah.
point, I think we need, and not this where what you're saying, unity comes in. The black people now who are successful need now for about. Say, okay, now I'm a entertainer, $1 billion entertainer, $1 billion basketball player. Now I'll be angel investor to my community now. Now I have
Right.
these opportunities to say, you know what, you have these ideas, I'll pour into yourself. But what tends to happen is that they are angel investors to their families and the angel investors to the small that
Yeah.
they have already. So what it is that they remove themselves from their community, because if a four of us come from a certain neighborhood, right, and Jerron make it, but we made sure Jerron was straight. We used to do is to make sure Jerron go to school. We used to do is to make sure Jerron play basketball. We used to do is to make sure Jerron didn't get robbed. When Jerron make it, we kind of expect and say, babe, we take care of you, you got to take care of me. So because now I ready, my Jerron money ready pouring out. He didn't have these things he have to give back to, because that's what you feel like you got to do. You got to take care of his entire family, take care of the baby, and whatnot. That's his angel investment. Whereas John, who come from Kentucky, and John hit it big. John family straight already. Now John might be in a better level of shape, but his family straight already. So now John's looking for ways to flip his money now. John said, I just made this $2 million over stocks. That's the next thing we don't have access to because of lack of education. It's the stock market and investments and stuff like that. They try to find different ways to invest in money. But again, that can happen. It's just that if there was the answer rapper name here, the answer rapper say, you know what, I can make Shark Tank for inner city people in Chicago. You come with your idea, I can invest in your money. I can invest in your company. And I think I agree, and I think that would be the change. But everything boils on, it's capitalism. It boils on the money and being in certain rooms and being, because the thing is, if you see the things I get okay for businesses, all it was that you was in a room with somebody who listened to you. But now, how do I get into that room? And that's where the barriers are, and that's the difficulty.
Right.
So tied into sports, felt like Andre Iguodala. You know why Andre Iguodala stayed with the Golden State Warriors for so long? Not because
Silicon
he's won the
Valley.
championship with them, you know. Fella got tapped into Silicon Valley.
Yep.
That's why he stayed with them for so long. Because when he was in San Francisco, he get connected to some dudes who's in Silicon Valley in San Francisco, and he started making some investments. So that's somebody now. The responsible thing for him to do is now to flip that to say, and I don't even know if he's doing it, he might be doing it. But again, everything goes by the scale. It's the reason why they call it the minority. The blacks are a minority. So the percentage rate of a successful person, regardless of color, is probably 5 to 10%. So now you have millions of people, 5% of millions is greater than 5% of thousands. So it's just that they have more of an opportunity and a chance to hit it big. And then the persons are more reachable. So I think all those are factors. I think it's more than just that. And again, the opportunity in this, and I last thing I remember to say is just the idea is it can happen. If my main concern is making to make sure I can eat, I can make sure mommy bills paid, I can make sure they're straight, I'm thinking it was kind of weird off the wall up. If I just try to make the next up, then it might be thing. But I'm sure it's some random black person that we just don't know about, or random color person we just don't know about who is doing it too. But again, it's just as more white people doing it. But like sports, it might have been their time, and then like, it could be a wave. Because keep in mind, NBA prior to the 70s, maybe it was just straight white players. 70s and 60s, like straight white players. And then one black fella come and big and everybody else started dominating. And then next thing you know, the NBA now is the opposite of what the NBA was a generation ago, whereas it's minority white, it's minority blacks. So hopefully that's how the tech field would be too. Because again, music was the same thing. Music wasn't all the blacks music was the jazz in the little clubs. It wasn't headlining the arenas. So keep in mind, if you look at the Grammy and even the Oscars, the people who win these Grammys, Oscars is persons of white color. And it's because it's what they have access to. So they coming. It just, I don't know. And maybe it takes one of us in here to have the idea to say, I'll make this new app. I want to find sharks in the Bahamas and then someone get better. I wish I didn't say that online. That's a really good idea.
But see, the thing is, it takes deep pockets to do that, because even using the Shark Tank example, you know how many ideas are selected and fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it ain't like we could come together, we pool our resources, and we say, you know what, we can find the next big thing. All we got to do is make this investment. If we pick one or two wrong investments, that's us.
That's us.
We gone. The money drained. You know what I mean? Whereas these individuals have the cash flow and the cash reserves, I should say, and
You know, it's
net
got the
worth
equity.
the equity. There you go, to invest in multiple projects. And if it fails, okay, we still straight. I can sell the Mavericks if this process, if you know what I mean, because and Cuban on that show, right? Shark Tank.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a byproduct of the imbalance of equity.
right, exactly.
That's all. That's a trickle down example of how imbalance of equity looks. You don't have the
And
chance.
that's why I think it's such a tough act and a tough ask for the Black community to say, look here, you making this money, invest it in the community. Investment takes some knowledge, but you gotta have some insight, some background information on certain things to make sound decisions, right? So we're asking individuals who played ball their entire life to become the best at their craft.
Broke on Tuesday.
To
It was
now,
poor on Tuesday. It's a millionaire on Thursday. It was poor on Tuesday.
right?
It's a millionaire
And now we're
on Friday.
asking them, look here, make sure you invest in the right product. Make sure you invest in the right people. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important. And I told Jay this on Tuesday. Got to give kudos to LeBron for surrounding himself with business-minded individuals of his color. You know what I mean? Rich Paul. He met Rich Paul through a jersey transaction deal. He saw a business-minded individual, and next thing you know, they became friends. So, you know, they weren't. It's not that he put a random friend on, you know. No, he knew Rich Paul had some semblance of knowledge and hustle and ambition and business savvy to say, maybe 1 or 2 years shadowing XYZ agent, maybe in 3-4 years you could become a super agent as well. And he did that.
But Eddie, even to that, so it isn't a bad idea if an entertainer becomes a voice. It's because LeBron James is a basketball player. He then afforded Rich Paul the opportunity.
Say it again.
I say because LeBron James, I say that to that point, being entertainer or the sports player isn't always a bad thing to be the voice. It's because LeBron James is a basketball player.
No.
It's why Rich Paul afforded the opportunity.
No, yeah. And when I said I don't think it's a bad thing for them to be the voice. My whole point of bringing that up was to say where are the voices in the other areas, you know, and to show that because there is a lack of voices in the other areas, then hey, something else is up. Let's look into it. You see what I mean? Let's dissect those issues. So that's why I brought that up. But no, I don't think it's a bad thing for it to be
that's just inequality. That's literally inequality.
They're because we're seeing individuals who look like us shine at a level that's unheard of. You know what I mean? Jay-Z just isn't a great Black entertainer. Only Beatles sold more albums than Jay-Z. He's a great entertainer, period. Black or white. You see what I mean? So it shouldn't be a fault to look up at him. The problem is, or not the problem, the issue is for us is while we're looking at Jay-Z to lead not only musically, now we're looking for him to lead in other avenues where I was saying the whites, they ain't checking for the Beatles to be their tech guy or their leader in XYZ because they have other people in those areas. You see what I mean? So that was my whole point behind that, bringing that topic up for debate.
Even at Eddie though, so if you look at the U.S. So the U.S.R. from say around up to 1800s, from the 1800s up to 2000s, that's 200 years to establish themselves. The Blacks after the civil rights is in the 60s, like,
right? Yeah,
civil rights in the
right.
60s. So like that's 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. So they're getting there, and if anything, it's commendable the fact that they even could go through all that stuff and continuously being pushed and shut down and torn down and keep building themselves back up to this time to be a voice. I'm sure if you were to tell the Blacks of the 20s that you will have somebody like Jay-Z or dude, Tupac's my favorite artist. You gotta talk, but Tupac's my favorite artist. Tupac say, I don't think we're ready to have a Black president. And that was in the 90s when he wrote that. And then I want to have got to get out. And about
Yeah.
less than 30 years, he had a black president. So that's to show you the black people, just like technology, have made leaps and bounds in progress. It's just that it's we as in the world want to do so much more because you expect them to do so much more. But so many red tape, there's so many background systemic issues, there's so many ceilings that they have to push through, that they have been pushing through. That when you see
Yeah.
someone like JC make it, be like, wait, why more people from Marcy just can't make it? But if you really analyze the story, he is a rarity to make it.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey is the same thing. She is a rarity. Tiger Woods is a rarity. These people are rarities regardless of their color. But what I was saying
Right.
earlier is that that's anybody who's successful, regardless of their colors, they are a rarity. It's just that
Yeah.
because they're black, we expect it to be more. That's hard. That's like the Olympics way. That's like you saying why more Behemoths can win the Olympic gold medal. You know how hard it is to win a gold medal? The fact the Behemoths can
You know
win a
how
gold
it is to
medal
make it
should
to the Olympics?
be- So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying because Shawnee Wheeler won a gold medal, why more people can win a gold medal? She's just as good at her craft, period. White, black
No.
woman, Indian.
But
So
what it does too, what it does too is this is what ends up happening too. You see the Shawnee Miller make it, right?